request Mr. Jayesh Ranjan to be on the stage, sir. Also, judges, please come on stage.
Thank you. So, ladies and for the Startup Awards, and as we did an hour ago, we brought 5 of the finalists into the stage, and we made them do this. Shantan Ramaswamy, did I pronounce it right? President, Vitrios Health, and Inder Davalur, former CIO of KIMS Hospital Group. Award, I know this is very close to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan's heart because I know that he gets involved in a lot of CSR activities, and we had about, sadly, only very less number of entries. We had only 6 entries. Next year, I hope we get a bigger number of entries. We had some from outside Hyderabad also. But there are many companies which do genuine CSR work, and I think all of them should be rewarded when the time comes. Then we had the best digital health campaign entries, good number of awards, and we had the winners there also. Last but not the least, we had 22 entries for the startup. Mr. Jayesh will be again very happy, being the boss of T-Hub and other things around Hyderabad and Telangana. Good number of entries for the startup. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now take out those blue envelopes and give it to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. And we will start with the Best CSR Award. Mike, just check. The Best CSR Award, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan will announce.
The Best CSR Award goes to Aster Prime.
Aster Prime, may call upon yes, sir. Yo, the flowers are for you. Digital Award, and may I request Mr. Jayesh Ranjan to do the honors again.
The Best Digital Campaign on Healthcare. The award goes to Be Able from IIT Hyderabad.
Be Able, IIT Hyderabad, the best digital health campaign. In fact, the entries were in 2 categories also, but glad that you finally picked it up in the digital health campaign category. Very well done on the effects of stroke and how to handle the strokes. The fellows from the Center for Entrepreneurship, Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ranjan will have a word for them. For the Best Startup Award, we had 22 entries, 5 on stage, and the Best Startup Award. Okay, I'll just give you the wrong one. Yes, sir. There's the one.
The Best Startup Award goes to Gen 3 Innovations.
J3 Innovations, among the 22 of them, they were the ones who made it on top. The judges, we had a good amount of discussion after this. Strangely enough, the voting also indicated from the audience, delegates here, the voting also indicated that they were the best. But there's a special mention going on to Winformax. They were very, very close in terms of the scoring, and the judges have a good word for them. Can the team from Winformax stand up, please, and get a round of ovation. They did a good job. Congratulations. I don't need to call you. Winformax. Winformax next, please. Yeah, next one. The team from BAPL Hyderabad, again, who were one of the finalists, the first 5 finalists. Congratulations, and the representative from eKinCare, who was also one of the 5 finalists who made it the final round among the 22.
Who will give it?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, naturally they had to fill it up, and they took quite some time to do it because I went through the scores and I finally shared the scores with them. May we now request Ms. Jayesh Ranjan to please give away the mementos to all the 4 judges on the stage, please. Come, go. Go, go, go. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. I know the lambs are a bit heavy to carry, but we have the bags for you to carry it. Very traditional and very Indian. Thank you, judges, for taking the time out and doing the scoring for us. 22 teams, and it's not easy, and all of them have done an admirable amount of work. And I didn't say that, I have to say this. Well, I'm one of the 5 judges, so which she has forced me to take one. Thank you very much, Ms. Jayesh Ranjan. Thank you for coming over. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Race in this part of India, at least, and all over India, you can say, and coming up with a lot of new ideas and products, the Tea Hub being one of them. I would now request Ms. Jayesh Ranjan to share a few thoughts with us and address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Suresh. Members of the judging panel, invitees, speakers of the earlier sessions, most importantly, members of different startup teams. I'm delighted to learn from the organizers about the success of this event. Typically, you judge these kind of events not just from the number of people who came for pitching or people who participated in the competitions, but about the quality of interactions, the benefit they actually derived from this kind of a platform. And as I walked around, I interacted with some of the startups, and quite a few of them mentioned in a very sincere way that they enjoyed their day, they enjoyed spending time here, listening to some great speakers, talking to some of the potential mentors, investors, etc. So all in all, a very successful event, and I would like to compliment Vishy for putting this together. Uh, I would also like to congratulate the 5 startups who won awards and the others who also kind of showcased their solutions, their products. I would like to share, I'd like to specifically mention 3 things here. Now, when we look at the startup landscape of our country, while there is admirable growth and progress, we are now the 2nd largest nation in terms of the number of startups which are registered every year, in terms of the amount of money which goes to startup. But while all that is great, we also keep lamenting the fact that very few original problems are getting solved by Indian startups. We keep telling that most of it is copying and cutting and paste kind of startups. If something has done well in the United States or North America, we of course tweak that model. It's not exactly 100% copying and cutting and all, but at the same time, we have hundreds of original problems of our own, and not enough attention is going into finding solutions to those native problems, the problems which beseech our people day in and day out. And the point which I want to mention is that healthcare is one area where there is no dearth of finding original problems, and the kind of impact one can create in finding solutions to some of those problems, once you are able to reach a particular scale, will be enormous. I mean, the kind of not only returns and rewards that you will get, the sheer satisfaction and joy of being of help and assistance to hundreds and thousands of people will be phenomenal. And of course, some of the startups whose products, whose solutions I saw today, I must admit that they would fall definitely in that category, that they have identified something very unique, and then they are bringing native solutions, ingenious solutions. So definitely we can really buck this trend, we can reverse this trend, we can show to the world that at least healthcare is one area where we are finding solutions to some of the problems which are very, very typical or very native to India. As the second point which I would like to mention is that when I looked around some of the, I could not visit all the 22 booths, but the ones that I visited, I noticed that there are some interesting interfaces. I mean, it's the interface of 2-3 kinds of creative processes. One is that there is lots of medical knowledge that you have to bring on the table, because when you're dealing with healthcare and all, you cannot be approximately correct or vaguely right and all. You have to be very precise. Everything has to be very customized based on the individual situation. So there's lots of medical information which goes in. The second interface is with lots of digital technology. So much of this precision comes through machine learning, through writing smart algorithms, through artificial intelligence, and through using cloud in a smart way, and so on and so forth. And then there is a third element. Lots of solutions are based on devices. So you have to fabricate a device, you have to manufacture it, you can get it manufactured on mass scale as well. So these 3 things, when they are combining together, the eventual product or solution is coming out of it. Now the key point which I want to make is, I noticed while I was walking around that there are a large number of people who have incubated their companies in other cities like Bangalore, Pune, and places like that. So again, the point which I would like to share with them is that Hyderabad today, if you look at all the comparable cities in India, is best located to bring you the best in all these 3 streams. We have a great, this is the life sciences and pharmaceutical and biotechnology capital of the world, not just India. You will be surprised to know if I share with you, for instance, that 1/3 of the world's vaccines are manufactured here. These are not India's vaccines or Asia's vaccines. In fact, 1/3 of global vaccines are manufactured in Hyderabad. Lots of very cutting edge R&D happens here. And of course, we are the capital of pharmaceuticals, bulk drugs, generics, etc. So the life sciences sector is very rich here. It is very thriving. And if you are located here, the opportunity to become a part of that larger life sciences ecosystem is something which will be uncomparable. At the same time, the tech prowess of Hyderabad is also well known. And of course, I won't say that we are as big as Bangalore. Of course, Bangalore is 3 times bigger than Hyderabad when it comes to the sheer size of the tech industry there. But if you look at which city has grown the best in the last 5 years, so to say, and I feel very proud to share with you that the year-on-year growth in Hyderabad is far better than all the other comparable cities. In fact, in one of the years, I remember we were almost 2 percentage points ahead of Bangalore. But otherwise, we have been from 0.5% to 1% ahead of Bangalore in terms of year-on-year growth for the last 5 years. And the same is true of Pune, Chennai, Gurgaon, and so on. So the tech prowess, particularly in these frontier technologies, emerging technologies, like IoT, like artificial intelligence, deep tech, etc., is definitely quite strong here in Hyderabad. So if you choose to locate your startup here, you get that kind of a advantage as well. And in terms of medical devices, now, though we have been a late starter, but we have been able to put together very quickly a policy to support medical devices manufacturing and R&D. We have created a dedicated industrial park for medical devices, and the response from the industry is very, very good. In fact, 2 days, not 2 days, today is 15th, isn't it? Today is 17th, actually, 16th. So after a week, we have our signature annual event called BioAsia. And in the morning of BioAsia, we are announcing a mega project. One of the country's largest stent makers has decided to locate their next big factory here in our medical devices manufacturing park. So others also whose products involves a device and you would like to get that manufactured, we have a kind of a special value proposition for startups in terms of pricing the land, giving them incentives, giving them other benefits, etc. So do look us up. Maybe later on you can find out more details about the med devices park, etc. But the 3 interfaces that I spoke about, on which lots of your products and solutions and innovations rest, have right now the best value proposition being offered from the city of Hyderabad and nowhere else. So while you could have incorporated anywhere, but if you want to scale up, if you want to become a big player in the market in your line of activity, do look us up. The last thing which I want to share with you is that while the day today has been a very interesting mix of people who are from the investing community, people who are experts, who are mentors, we have ecosystem enablers, but we also need to bring medical professionals, medical institutions, research institutions in a very strong way, because as I mentioned a while ago, validation of some of these products and services is very, very important. In fact, as we all understand intuitively, healthcare, medicine is something which is extremely personal, extremely private. People have different levels of comfort and people have different levels of sensitivities about multiple things. If I look at my own case, I'm one person who avoids taking any kind of medicines till you may perhaps die. So I generally allow nature to cure you. I don't take any medicine, whatever my problem is. And it's just the way I am. It's not that I am a prejudiced person against science, technology, or anything. But it is just how I am. And there are many people like that who prefer to allow nature to do their own thing. And many people who are, and I also know that there are many people who are over-dependent on medicine. Even if it is a small headache, they will eat some 5 tablets of, some Brufen or Combiflam or something. So all kinds of people are there. So it is very important to understand that the market that you are going to cater to tomorrow is extremely fragmented, extremely differentiated, and medical validation so that you are able to prepare or propose a very credible and a very strong kind of a justification on why your product should be taken on board or supported or tested becomes very important. So I would also suggest to the organizers, lots of research institutions are there in Hyderabad. We have the best research labs as well as national level and international level institutions in Hyderabad. And we should also keep them involved in this conversation so that, number one, they understand what kind of work is coming from the world of startups. And of course, the startups benefit from developing an understanding about these kind of research protocols, validation, etc. All in all, this has been a wonderful day for all of you. As I said, I just came in the evening, but the sense which I got was one of excitement. Definitely lots of very brilliant ideas, creative ideas were shared. But the fun part of this event, this organization also appealed to me. For example, I saw there is a Bollywood quiz where you have to understand what medical condition was being reflected in which movie. I also found the specific focus on cancer awareness on which has been put up here, where people have to understand what are the simple precautions one need to take and how does one detect cancer at a very early age, and of course take a pledge to spread that awareness. These are extremely valuable messages, and I'm sure that all of us are sensitive to these facts, and our awareness and understanding about some of these issues has grown further just because of the fact that we came here and we attended this event. So I once again look forward to staying connected with some of the startups who are ready to bring their products into commercial use. And as I mentioned earlier, Hyderabad and Telangana is today the best state in terms of providing organized support to startup activities. We have the best in class incubators. We have a whole of the city approach in which all the ecosystem enablers come together on a common platform. And very shortly, we are in a process of putting together a fund also. And some funding support also can come your way if you're incorporating your company here in Hyderabad. So once again, good wishes to all of you. And thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. Hyderabad, and it's true because that's the way Hyderabad has grown over other cities in the last few years. The pitching that goes in and the walk the talk, that's more important. It's not just making a promise, but walking the talk. So be it the biotech park or be it the T-Hub, we're seeing all new innovations coming up. Thank you, sir. And may I request Vishy Vishwanan to now give away a small memento to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. Thank you for spending a couple of hours with us, sir, because we know how precious your time is, but the fact that you spent 2 hours here almost shows the value that you associate with this audience that we have. Thank you very much.
Delegates, I thank you very much for taking out your 12 hours of your time and blocking your day. So special thanks to all the delegates from InFocus RX team, and indeed the speakers, the judges, okay, the T-Hub CEO coming in, okay. And there is something called the Unsung Heroes. Okay, this entire show has been put up by a team of 30 people who are medical writers, they are the creative designers, UX people. Okay, so entire thing, you know. So I would say that I will just request Mr. Jayesh Ranjan to appreciate one person who's leading the entire team, okay, for this particular conference. His name is Devdeep Lahiri, okay. Thank you very much, Jayesh.
Mr. Greg Anderson said, wellness is the complete integration of body, mind, and spirit. The realization that everything we do, think, feel, and believe has an effect on our state of well-being. This state of well-being cannot be achieved unless we take care of our mental and spiritual health in addition to physical health. So coming November 15th, we bring you the Wellness Summit 2019, which focuses on holistic health. So stay tuned for further updates from InFocus RX And thank you all and have a great evening. Thank you.